Before we begin this emotional story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for more heart-touching stories like this one. It was a cold, rainy evening in a small town. The streets were wet, the sky was dark, and people were rushing home after work. But in the middle of the crowded road, one man slowly walked beside his old motorcycle. His name was Daniel. A poor single father. A man who had already lost almost everything in life, except his son. Daniel worked at a construction site every single day. His hands were rough, his clothes were old, and his body was tired all the time. But no matter how hard life became, he always smiled in front of his son. Because his son was the only reason he kept fighting. After losing his wife years ago, Daniel raised his son Michael alone. He cooked for him, helped him study, cleaned the house. And every night before sleeping, he would quietly sit beside Michael and pray. "Please God, give my son a better life than mine." Michael was a brilliant student. He loved computers and dreamed of becoming a software engineer someday. Every teacher in school believed he had a bright future. But there was one problem. Poverty. Michael's school had recently started online classes and projects. Every student had a laptop. Except him. Every day he borrowed computers from friends. Every day he stayed silent while others laughed at him. Still, he never complained to his father. Because he knew how hard his dad already worked. One evening, Michael returned home looking upset. Daniel immediately noticed. "What happened, son?" Michael forced a smile. "Nothing, Dad." But fathers understand pain, even when words are hidden. Later that night, Daniel overheard Michael talking to his friend on the phone. "I don't know how I'll complete the project. I don't even have a laptop." Daniel stood frozen outside the room. For the first time in years. He felt helpless. That old motorcycle parked outside the house. It was the only valuable thing he owned. It wasn't just a bike. It was his memory. His freedom. His happiness. Daniel had bought it years ago with his first salary after marriage. He used to ride it with his wife before life became difficult. But now, his son's future mattered more. The next morning, before sunrise, Daniel cleaned the motorcycle carefully. He touched the seat softly. Almost like saying goodbye to an old friend. Then he drove it to the market. The bike dealer looked at the old motorcycle and laughed. "This bike is too old." Daniel lowered his eyes. "Please. I need money urgently." After bargaining for hours, the dealer offered a very small amount. It was unfair. Painfully unfair. But Daniel accepted it. Because fathers don't think about pride when it comes to their children. As the dealer drove the motorcycle away, Daniel stood silently in the rain, watching the only thing he loved disappear forever. Tears slowly rolled down his face. But he wiped them away quickly. Because he didn't want anyone to see a father breaking apart. That evening, Daniel came home carrying a laptop box. Michael looked shocked. "Dad, how did you buy this?" Daniel smiled softly. "I had some savings." Michael hugged his father tightly. At that moment, Daniel forgot all his pain. For the next few months, Michael studied day and night. He worked harder than ever before. Because deep inside, he knew his father had sacrificed something important. Years passed. Michael completed college with top grades. Then one day, he received a job offer from a huge tech company in another city. Daniel was proud. But also emotional. The small boy he raised alone was finally leaving home. Before Michael left, Daniel gave him one piece of advice. "Never forget where you came from." Michael smiled. "I'll never forget you, Dad." Life slowly changed. Michael became successful. Very successful. He earned more money than he had ever imagined. But no matter how busy life became, he never forgot his father's sacrifice. One evening, while driving home from work, Michael suddenly saw a familiar motorcycle parked outside an old repair shop. His heart stopped. It looked exactly like his father's old bike. He quickly walked closer. Same scratches. Same broken mirror. Same number plate. It was the bike. After all these years, Michael had found it. The repair shop owner explained that the motorcycle had changed many owners and was now almost useless. But Michael didn't care. "I'll buy it." The owner laughed. "This junk?" Michael smiled with tears in his eyes. "You don't understand, this bike changed my life." For weeks, Michael secretly restored the motorcycle. New paint. New engine. New lights. But he kept the original number plate. Because memories should never change. Finally, Father's Day arrived. Michael returned to his hometown after many years. Daniel opened the door and froze. His son stood outside beside the fully restored motorcycle. For a moment, Daniel couldn't breathe. Michael slowly handed him the keys. "You sold your happiness to build my future. Now it's my turn." Daniel's hands trembled. Tears filled his eyes instantly. He touched the motorcycle gently. Like meeting an old friend after years. Then he hugged his son tightly and cried. Not because of the motorcycle, but because his sacrifices were finally understood. That night, father and son rode the motorcycle together through the empty streets. Just like old times. And for the first time in many years, Daniel felt truly happy again. Because sometimes, the greatest love in the world is silent. A father's sacrifice. A father's pain. A father's love. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with someone who loves their parents. Because every father deserves respect. And every sacrifice deserves to be remembered. Thanks for watching.